All right, there we go. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Chris, and this is Barnum 11970. It is 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the last day of November, November 30th, 2016. And I wanted to talk a little bit about this, and I like this image that I put up there because it's definitely, to me, inspirational and something we need to remind ourselves about. And like it says, stars can't shine without darkness. And it's the whole thing about how I've talked about so much that, you know, I think sometimes people they want the good so much that they almost fear the negativity, the darkness, the bad, thinking that you have to stay away from it, you can't show it, you can't feel it because otherwise it will consume you. And what I think about is think about like a Star Wars reference. When you see somebody like Darth Vader, who was um, not a bad guy when he started out, but he allowed the darkness to consume him. And then you look later on in the trilogies and the other Star Wars movies where Luke Skywalker, he could have gone down that route and followed in his father's footsteps. But even though he saw the darkness and even though he saw how bad it could be, he confronted it, faced it, and made a choice. So that's why, for example, like the last video I just made, yes, as you could see here, I'm more calm. And the other one, I was more of a rant and emotional and things like that. I think I want people to understand that it's okay to feel. It's okay to even be angry at times because it's like a teapot. There's a reason why there's a hole at the top of the teapot because if you don't vent, bad things will happen. So just imagine if you had a teapot, you filled it with water, put it on the stove, and it did not have any way for that steam to escape. Well, what would happen? That teapot would get so hot and eventually it would explode. And that's why I think so many people these days, I mean, you have to look at all these things that are going on. These are either one heck of a coincidence that all these things just happen to be exposing themselves at this point so much now, to the point where even people that thought this stuff was crazy are starting to pay attention. That there has to be a reason for it. And one of the things I want people to take from anything about my videos is not the fact that whether I'm right or wrong, because what I believe in may be different from what you believe in. And what I say may resonate with me, may resonate with you, but may not resonate with everybody. And the same thing goes with everybody else's beliefs. But the point is, if people are so afraid to see one side of things, for fear that they can't control it, what does that say about your inner strength? To me, for example, people that have been watching my channel for a while know that one of my jobs is I'm a karaoke DJ. Also, from about 2003, roughly, to about 2012, I was a lead singer of a band. So I used to DJ 4 nights a week, be in a band, singing in clubs and bars, and practicing at least once a week. I was drinking almost 5, 6 times a week, every week, for years. To the point where I could drink literally, I remember one night I had 8 Long Island iced teas, and it didn't do anything for me. Because I've been drinking so much. Like, my drink of choice was rum and Coke, and it would literally be 90% rum. And I drink like 4 or 5, but wouldn't do anything. And then I realized one day, it's like, why am I continuing to drink when it's not even affecting me at a certain point? And then just one day I stopped it. Now, I didn't stop working in bars. I didn't stop singing in the band. I had access to alcohol anytime I wanted. As a matter of fact, for years, my house was the party house. Before I got married years ago, before I knew anything about any of this stuff. And every weekend, there would be a party at my house to the point where if people had too much to drink, I would be letting them crash over at my house so they didn't drink and drive. So I had bottles of alcohol all over the place. To this day, in my basement, I still have plenty of old bottles of liquor that I could grab at any moment. But I chose not to touch them. And I haven't had a drink. The last time I had a drink was about 2 years ago. I had one glass of champagne because one of my good friends got married, and I was in the wedding party. So they did a toast. So I had a glass of champagne, and that was the last I drank in probably the past 2.5, 3 years. True strength is not avoiding things. True strength is facing all and still standing tall. And I think in this day and age, we're so afraid that we are going to make the wrong choices when we don't understand it's our choice to make them. So when I talk about things, whether you believe in them or not, in the grand scheme of things, I may not say everything right or say it the best way because I'm not reading from a script. I don't have somebody writing things that I'm reading off a monitor so I say everything politically correct. I am just a regular person that says what they feel at the moment they're thinking it. That can be extreme sometimes, and that's okay. But what I say doesn't have to resonate with you. As long as it resonates with me, then it is my truth. If it resonates with other people, then that's an added bonus. And the point I was trying to make before is you'll never see me go on other people's channels trying to force my ideals on people. And if you think about this world in general, this world is all about other people, other groups, other, I guess, financial backgrounds, whatever, trying to force their agendas or their beliefs on everyone else. And like this title says, stars can't shine without darkness. What that says to me is you need both positive and negative. Because if there was nothing but light, you would never know a star existed. Same goes for if there was nothing but darkness. So what I want to teach people here is it's okay to have beliefs, but you should be able to change them, and you should also look at both sides of an argument. Because how do you know what you believe in is true if you're only willing to listen to half of the story? And some people were bringing up the whole flat Earth, and you could see already people are bringing it up because, that's what some people choose to do. To me, whether the Earth is flat or the Earth is round does not change the cruelty that's happening on it. That's what matters more to me. So if the Earth is flat or the Earth is round, we still have people in control of it. We still have most of the people on it in debt and poor. There are still people hurting one another. There are still animals suffering in the world. So to me, the importance of the shape of the whatever it is that we live on is irrelevant and not important to me. And for some people to be so blindly worried about one specific thing that they technically can't prove is blinding them from all the other tragedies and travesties that are occurring on whatever shape this planet is in. And I think we're missing the point. And people who care, we can get very emotional. And that's why I had my little outburst before. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not embarrassed about it. I could care less about the 12 people that thumbed it down. Because the majority of them will never do anything in their lives that are beneficial for the humankind. They'll do things for themselves. So that's why I don't really worry about it. If that's their goal in life, then they have a sad life, and that's on them. Don't be afraid to face your fears, because if you can face your fears and still come out on top, then you've won. Hiding from something is not facing it. And people are so worried about what other people think and what other people believe that we try and hurt others if somebody else thinks or believes a different way than you do. And we have to think of the bigger picture. I mean, to all the people that want to bring up the flat Earth, if it's flat or round, does it change that most people on this planet are poor? Is it going to change the corruption in our governments throughout the world? The financial system? So why is it so important? Ask yourself that question, since people bring it up all the time. But you can apply any of this to your own life. If you have some kind of addiction, there's usually a reason for it. If you have some kind of pain, something that hurts you, the less time you spend facing it, the more time it seems to hang around you. Think of whatever is hurting you as something trying to get your attention. Think of it as a physical form knocking on your door. And you hear a loud noise in the bank coming from your house, and you hear the door knocking, and somebody says, "I'm coming in," and you're scared to death of that person, and you hide. Well, if that thing wants to get you to learn something, it's not going to give up, and it's going to bang louder. And you're going to be even more scared to face it. And then it may even break the door down and come on in. Instead of us just saying, okay, what is it that's being presented to me? What can I learn from it so I can move on? And that's why I can have that outburst and just 20 minutes later have it out of my system and just see what was it about that that created that emotion, and what can I learn from it to further my enlightenment, so to speak. And J-Man, I understand what you're saying, forget those haters. I don't want to worry about forgetting them or not, because obviously if they're here, they're there to present something to me that I need to face and understand or understand. So that's what I'm talking about. Don't be afraid to face those things and just come away with something positive. You know, if you burn your hand on a stove, that's a bad thing. But if you learn through that experience to never do it again, you've learned something valuable from that painful situation, so it never becomes worse. And this world, they teach you that you have to stay away from negativity. You have to be protected, and you need other people to protect you. Why can't you face your own fears? Why can't you protect yourself? Why do you need outside help to make you understand what's inside you that you refuse to listen? And that's why I can get frustrated at times, because for me, I look at all these videos and all these people talking, and the people that I work with and the people on the streets, they just seem to only care about themselves. They don't want to look further than what they're buying that week. And it's frustrating to see all the things that are happening, and that the people are just complacent with it. And the longer it happens, the more people just get used to it. And that's sad for me, because we all live on this planet. And if this planet got destroyed, whether you love each other or hate each other, the fate remains the same for us all. That's something the people that live with hate cannot understand, who live with judgment cannot understand, who hide from themselves. You can lie to the world. You can even lie to yourself. But truth is still truth, no matter how much you cover it. And if you're afraid to face something, you will continually have it confronted to you. So I can learn new things on a daily basis. That's how we all grow. And that's the thing about an infinite world. You will always grow. You will never hit a plateau. You will never reach the peak. You will never find the end. Unless you decide to become complacent, or unless you decide to allow fear and negativity to keep you in a certain way. There's a reason why enlightened people don't want to be grounded. And yet this whole world is telling you, keep your 2 feet on the ground. You got to stay grounded. You got to stay focused. You got to stand tall and stand firm. Well, birds can't fly if they have both feet on the ground, can they? So what some of the people that come here will never understand, and it's sad that they cannot, and I hope they change their way, is my channel is all about me, Chris, the average, ordinary, whatever human being who has their own perspective and beliefs, is here speaking his mind as truthfully as he can, speaking about what he resonates with, never forcing anyone to believe in what I believe in, never making anyone listen. And that's why I don't even schedule my live shows. I just put them on and just start speaking. And what I find amazing is I could literally do a video at 3 o'clock in the morning, randomly, without letting anybody know about it, and all of a sudden there will be people there who care enough to listen for some reason. I find that amazing. There has not been a video that I've made. Yes, I don't get millions of views, but I also do not have one video that has no views. Which means for some reason there are people out there who care about what I have to say. And I love that. So if you learn anything from me, my channel is all about having you think for yourself. I am not here to tell you how to think. I'm not here to make you do anything. There is no agenda here. So it's okay for you to disagree with what I say. The only problem I ever have is when people have to insult me, or attack me, or try and hurt me, when they choose to come here and listen to something that they don't seem to like. And somehow they try and spin it off like it's my fault. What that says to me is those people are too afraid to face their own fears, and they lash out at someone else. And that's why I've grown since I've started this channel, and some of the people that are still trolling me to this day are still the same people. But that can change in an instant. Life is like a light switch. You can turn it on or you can turn it off, but that's your choice. So if you have some kind of fear, if you have some kind of pain, don't be afraid of it. Face it. Beat it. Win over it. You lost the race? Work harder. This world teaches you, oh, you don't have to work hard. You deserve a medal just because you're you. And we seem to be okay with that. We seem to be complacent. And it's frustrating. And it's okay to be frustrated, because if you learn a way to get something beneficial from that, then it happened for a reason. And that's why right now, I have half the viewers that I normally have. Well, on my last video, I have half the viewers. Because not many people can grasp this. It's too deep for even people that are still awake. And if you view that as an insult, that's perfectly fine. But no gun never forced you to be here. Most people don't like the truth. The people that are still here or here for the right reasons, we are the small minority. And we are the ones that are going to make it through anything because we can see more than what's right in front of us. And Joey, we're going to say goodbye to you, so thanks for coming here to promote your channel, which no one's going to care about, especially when you do it that way. And it's just my point over and over again. So that person wanted people to go to his channel instead of coming here to communicate. They're not going to get that option here very long. So, with that being said, I want to thank people for listening to what I say, good or bad. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do everything right. I'm not going to sit here and just say, well, I'm going to put on a script and I'm going to put on a show and I'm going to be like, for example, Hillary Clinton that is going to put on a fake smile and pretend everything's all right. If the world's turning to crap, you should know about it. You should face it. You should learn how to make it better. If you deny it's there, then all you're doing is allowing evil to continue to thrive. Until one day it consumes you and it consumes us all. And it all boils down to choice. But if you think about anybody that's religious, just think about what a creator has given us and how we are allowing it to be destroyed because we're afraid, or we don't want to rock the boat, or we don't want to be judged. Just imagine if you were the creator of this world and you've given this incredible gift to your creation and they're too afraid to do anything to fight for it. Would you want to do anything for them? I'll leave that up to you. So, as usual, thank you so much for listening to what I have to say. I look forward to your comments. If you subscribe, welcome. If you have to go, You're welcome here anytime. I hope you change your life in a more positive way, and maybe this video helps you look at it a little different. And if one person's life changed because of something that I've said, then guess what? That to me is the definition of success. So thanks for listening. Have a great day. And I'm not going to give my regular scheduled ending this time. I'm just going to say peace to everybody.